look into your hearts. This is our country. This is our future. These are our children and grandchildren. You can trust Mitt.
Condoleezza Rice clapping. Mitt Romney's wife, Ann, was one of the featured speakers on the first full night of Republican National Convention in Tampa. Mitt came walking out, which I think surprised some people, gave her a smooch. Romney officially clinched the GOP presidential nomination yesterday. The delegation from New Jersey is the one that put Romney past the 1,144 delegate threshold, and I'm sure watching with interest was Gary Dietrich, the big cheese from Citizen Voice. Hi, Gary.
Hey, good to be here.
I'd love it when
you know that whole thing, the whole thing about New Jersey, putting them over there, you know, it's usually your home state.
Yes.
I'm sure that was Christie. Hey, if I'm doing the keynote, my state's putting you over the top, big boy. You know, I can just hear Christie saying that. You know,
one of the few complaints I heard about Chris Christie by the pundits was he talked a lot about himself, talked a lot about New Jersey. You know, when it's supposed to be Mitt's night, but the story of success of Republican states, Republican governors, is really one of the sales points of the GOP message.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that, Paul. As I tried to tell people, I heard that a little bit last night when I was on air, and people, I said, wait a minute, this wasn't the nominating speech.
Yes.
Which is different, of course. That's got to be everything, including what kind of dog food, you know, your dog eats. That's coming tomorrow night. Last night was setting the stage for Republicans, and I think you're exactly right, Paul. They wanted to show that it's... Remember how we started his speech? Hey, we've got 700,000 more Democrats in our state than Republicans.
Yes.
And yet, and then he gave his litany of successes, including his own. So I think that's exactly the message they wanted, because it shows, hey, a conservative Republican governor, in their view, can govern very effectively, even in a state like that.
Yeah, and Romney, of course, is one of the two calling cards of the night. I was watching the NBC coverage last night, and the NBC, I mean, Brian...
All 15 minutes of it?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, one thing of it, you know, they get in 1 hour of prime time this year. I mean, pretty soon it'll be, hey, we're going to a 30-second break. There's Mitt. Okay, thanks, we're back.
Well, and I thought a lot of the interesting highlights were the non-marquee speakers. But when NBC was covering Ann Romney, I have to tell you, the pundits afterwards said glowing things about her last night.
She did a good job. I mean, and one interesting thing I found out yesterday, you know, she's never delivered a prepared speech before. It's always been ad hoc. And you know what it's like, just read a prompter, my friend. Yeah, there we are.
right in front of me all morning long.
It's not an easy thing to do when you've never done it before. I thought she did what she needed to do, which was, as they said, really soften Mitt Romney. And I thought did a very effective job connecting with women. And a lot of people, probably before last night, did not know about her battle with breast cancer, multiple sclerosis. And that's, you know, somewhat humble beginnings as they started out in college and grad school. I thought she did a fine job.
Okay, as you analysts watch the conventions go by, this is just a more broad question. What do you look for? What wins and doesn't win? What works and doesn't work?
Well, you're looking for a message that you think is going to resonate into the fall. You know, that's what it's really all about. And when you get through all the stuff that we've heard in commercials this summer and blah, 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 last night really was the start of when most people are tuning in. And it was clear last night that they delivered a message of, hey, we are more like you than they wanted to make Mitt out to be this summer, and Bain Capital and tax returns and all this. And we're the guys and gals who really can steer the ship in the right direction. I thought, you know, their tone last night after being delayed a day by Isaac, you know, set the right direction for where Republicans want people focused. It's got to be about the economy if they're going to beat Obama.
Yeah, which was not the drumbeat of last night. We'll have you back next hour. We'll talk a little bit more about this, and we'll give you a letter grade for the first full night of the convention with the Republicans. Democrats are next week. Of course, let's get to weather, where Darren Peck is standing by looking